Welcome to the Chemical Burrito YouTube channel. We do a lot of handheld gaming around here. Gaming of all types, actually, but a lot of handheld stuff. And I've been handheld gaming since the 1970s. And I figured I would bring out some of my older handhelds. So before we had Game Boys, we had these. So today I want to show you Tomy's Digital Derby, which came out in 1978. And also, I have Grandstand Scramble, which came out in 1982. So, state of the art, so to speak, for the late 70s and early 80s in terms of handheld gaming. Didn't have much in the way of cartridge based handheld systems then, except for some cartridge based systems that basically was just a change in a screen or something like that. Most handheld gaming back in late 70s, early 80s was kind of like this. And what I figured is I would show you the advanced graphics and sound technology of the time. So let's take a look. So first, here is the Digital Derby. You can see the race car at the bottom, I hope. Hope I've got the thing lit enough so you can see it. The screen, this is not backlit, if you can call it a screen. There's not really a screen in here. There's basically just an LED. All of this is mechanical. And they call it Digital Derby. They just tried to make it look digital. This is all mechanisms and gears, and you will certainly hear it when I start it up. This one's a little finicky, but we will see if we can get it going. So we have instructions on the back. Race as far as you can. Very advanced game here. They tell you how to get this thing to start, which sometimes can be kind of tricky. Power source, C-cell batteries. When's the last time you used one of those in a handheld? So, as you can see, 1978 Tony, made in Singapore. And let's see if we can get started. Sometimes you have to use percussive maintenance on this to get it to start, but let's see if we can get it to go. Come on. There we go. Sometimes you have to beat it and shake it a little bit. This thing's so old. So as you can see, we're driving. If you could even hear me. Oh, a collision. You just kind of power on through it. Yep. The cars are on a tape. Yep. I keep hitting things. And you kind of control the speed relative of the cars to the left and right by using the shifter. You hear the gears grind. And you just get as far as you can before the timer runs out. Oops. And no lane splitting. Oh, got a little boost. Well, looks like we're reaching the end. And we're done. Looks like, see the score there? It hasn't quite turned. Looks like I got 30 points. Yay. If you can look closely, you can see the plastic reels that have the cars. So all of this is mechanical. I hope you were able to see the collision light there. The speed should have probably been a little faster, but this thing is so old, it can get kind of finicky sometimes. As you saw, I had to kind of shake it just to get it to start. I'm probably going to open this thing up at some point and see what I can do about cleaning it out some more. But this is pretty well how it ran back in the 1970s. The sound effects were just gears grinding, which kind of sounded like a motor. You have this timer here, which basically is the length of your game, power button, speed control, and you just manually reset your own counter for points. So Tomy actually made a lot of other handheld games that were not electric. They made little water games. I may bring one of those out if I could find my Waterful Pac-Man game, which is kind of neat. I just have to figure out where the heck I put it. But how long would these batteries last? You're not getting 12 hours of gameplay on this. As you might imagine, the batteries wear out after probably a couple of long play sessions, because this thing is just turning motors. So uses a lot of juice. And this was actually, particularly if you're a little kid in the late 1970s, this was actually pretty fun. Something to do in the car if you're on a car ride. And of course, it would probably drive your parents nuts, because I think you can probably hear on the video how loud this thing is. It's probably a little louder now than it was originally, because the gears are a little bit more grindy now, but it still made a heck of a lot of noise back when it was new. So, as you can see, the very advanced technology of the late 1970s at work here. So this is a contemporary to the Atari 2600. Now, I've got one other handheld to take a look at here. This is the Grandstand Scramble. It's a bit larger than the other one, so I'll just put it sideways so you can see the kind of the whole thing here. If you look on the bottom, this beast, I can get the case open, takes 4 C cells. And how much gameplay do you get on this? Maybe a couple hours if you're lucky. But these old handhelds suck down these batteries like there's no tomorrow. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but you can see the a little bit the date, 1982, made in Japan. A lot of these old handhelds were made in Japan. That was the thing back in the late 70s and early 80s. This one is a good bit more advanced than our Digital Derby, which wasn't really digital at all. This is an actual full-on electronic game, a version of Scramble, and you actually have 2 ways to fire. You have bombs, you have missiles, you have several different game variations that are really almost all alike. These games didn't do much. You have a joystick where you can move your spaceship around. I've tried this. It's a little hard to see on the camera. I'll try to do the best I can to let you see what the gameplay looks like and hear the sounds here. So what I'm going to do is tilt it up so you guys can see the screen on the camera. Turn it on. Now there's some sound effects for you. Now let's see if I can angle this so you guys can see it. You can actually see the game. It actually has an attract mode. This was actually a pretty fancy handheld for back in the day. So you can see the attract mode here. And we'll actually try to play a game. This game on the camera, I've noticed that sometimes it's more flickery than it actually is, but every time this thing makes a sound, the display flashes, and it's done that since the 80s. So it's like the system couldn't quite handle displaying and making a sound at the same time, and you'll see it during the gameplay. When you fire, things disappear. But let's see if we can get this started. It's a little hard to see having to angle this. Oh, just got killed. I can do a little better at this where I can actually see what I'm doing, but you get the idea of the gameplay. Shoot the enemy ships, try to dodge their fire, bomb the things at the bottom, And just keep doing that. Oh, I still have more ships. Let's take a look at some of the other game variations, if I can get it to start. This one's a bit harder. I think at this point they really want me dead. See what game variation 2 looks like. Oh look, now a different level. And they're going to toast me because I can't see what I'm doing. Can't move fast enough. One more. Yep. Well, I died immediately. Oh, now they're really getting mean. They're shooting me from the bottom, and I can't see that at all. Yep, that's it. Playing blind, I got about 325 points. So, this is Grandstand Scramble. Actually, quite a bit more sophisticated. Give the handheld manufacturers 4 years, and they made something a lot fancier. Of course, there are many of these handhelds from back in the day. Some of them more advanced, some of them less. I have a small collection of handhelds that I still have from way back in the late 70s and early 80s. And if you'd like to see more of them, please leave some comments. And I'll try to dig a few out of storage. I just grabbed these two because I figured, hey, it'd be nice to show these to everybody on YouTube. And hope you enjoyed the video.